Hey, welcome back to my party, everybody. So today we're doing a little bit of a different video. I've been trying to kind of mix things up in there and not just solely do wig reviews. I kind of want you guys to get reacquainted with me and kind of get to know my personality as well again, because I haven't really done like a lot of talking, just sitting down, having good conversations with you like I used to do back when I used to do story times. Ain't that a throwback, y'all? For those of you that have been with me, y'all know my little story times in them. They was juicy too. Oh man. But I still got some stories, but I don't know. I don't know if y'all ready for them. All right, so today what I wanted to do was, since I do know that, I've been on YouTube for like a million years. It's probably been like 8 years, give or take a few, like I told y'all before, it wasn't necessarily like doing the things that I do now, but I have had a presence on here for a while, and I've had this channel for some time as well, which can either be good or bad, but that's a whole nother story. So today's topic that I wanted to do was I wanted to tell you guys some of the things that I probably would have done differently, because I know that this can perhaps help some of you guys that are just starting out, or so you can get further along than I have gotten, perhaps, because I do feel like a lot of the things that some of the things that I've done have kind of prevented me from kind of boosting up a lot quicker than I probably could have, which, at this point I'm like, whatever, as long as I'm seeing my dollar signs move up, that's what's more so important to me. The accolades are good and the acknowledgement is also good, but at the end of the day, like, my money is what really matters. At least at this point for me. But, of course, like I said, I do want to see the numbers grow, but it's not as important as I started to think, because, kind of just focusing on the numbers, it can kind of just make you get obsessive. You're always looking to see if it's going up, and I'm just kind of over that. Like, I just kind of let it do its thing, and then I'll check like every few weeks, or maybe like a week or 2 weeks. It depends on what's going on in my life, to be honest. So here are 10 things that I could have possibly changed if I knew what I knew now. The first one is that now I know that branding is like everything, okay? Back when I started, there was no such thing as branding. I mean, we had our little names and stuff, but some people had like the raggedy ass names that, eventually you had to change, because you're like, okay, this is a business now. This is really popular. This is really something that I got to take seriously now. So let me go ahead and brand myself and be the person, or have the brand that I would like everyone to know me as, or know my company as, or my channel as. So that's something that, of course, I didn't know until like much later on. I don't even know when this became trendy, maybe like 2016 or so. It could have been give or take a few years, but I do feel like maybe between like 2014 and up, that's when people started really looking at their channel names and just kind of branding. I think it was whenever the brand channel thing was introduced. I think that's when people started to really say, okay, now I want to really take my name seriously, take my brand seriously. All right, so another thing was to kind of have a genre or an objective. So, like with me, I do a lot of different things. I've had cooking on here, I've had DIYs, I've had stuff that you would probably see on tech channels, I've had stuff that you would see on family channels. Like, I've had things from different genres. I do feel like you can do that if that's kind of what you started out doing, like maybe having a schedule. Like Mondays, I'm doing DIYs. Tuesdays, I'm doing hair videos. Wednesdays, I'm doing this. Because I feel like then your audience kind of knows what to expect. Unless you just have that type of personality where people are going to like you regardless of what you do. And I do feel like, some people just have that, where people will watch anything you do. But there are other channels where, depending on what you do, you can kind of struggle. For me, I feel like I was a jack of all trades, master of none, where I'm good at a lot of different things, and just my creative side of me, just in general, when I open this to be able to just kind of explore that and just kind of be the big kid that I've always been without kind of having restrictions. So I didn't have any of that stuff in mind. Like, this wasn't a channel to make money. This was a channel to express myself. So I think that that's the difference between back then and 2020. The next thing is to create a schedule, and this kind of goes back to what I was saying before. It is good to have a schedule. Like, if your subscribers know that you're scheduling things for every day at like 6 p.m. or so, then all right, they know, all right, well, not every day because that's excessive. There's actually been recommendations to not do daily videos because it doesn't give your subscribers enough time to watch your videos, unless you have, like, ride or dies. It doesn't give your subscribers enough time to watch your videos, so that actually works against you with the new algorithm. But that's a whole nother topic, y'all. I'll be going off. This joint gonna be dumb long. So yeah, create a consistent schedule. Like, every Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, I do it at 6:30 p.m. I do kind of have that schedule, but I do kind of, especially with my series that I've been doing, I've been kind of venturing off from that. I was doing for a while Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. And I think I may go back to that once I'm finished with everything. At one point it was Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, but then I started doing Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday because I felt like those were like better days for me, or days that I feel like I can kind of spread and get to more people. People are always watching either Saturday or Sunday on the weekend. Those are really hot days. Tuesday is like after Monday. People just kind of want to unwind. I just have in my head the reasons why. So, you can definitely pick like whatever days you would personally prefer, or that you see that your subscribers or your numbers are really high. Use those days, stick to those days, either if it be in the morning or in the evening. For me personally, I feel like the evening is better, especially when people were going to work consistently, because that's when they get off of work, is usually around like 5-6:30. So those are those are usually the days and times, or those are usually the times that I like to schedule my videos, is in the evening when I know people are back home from work and things like that. The next thing is to be careful with copyright. So we know, like, with copyright, I remember back in the days, I would just use like just whatever song because there wasn't no money to be made. Now it's a whole big thing where you can't use more than a couple seconds of a song without it getting copyright. Even with that, like, I've used what some people have said was like the limit, and I've still gotten copyright. But now the great thing about YouTube is that it allows you to automatically replace the song or mute the song. So I'll do either or. And they do have a pretty decent selection in YouTube. So it hasn't been horrible these days. But back in the days, it was just like, boom, you got a copyright strike. And I remember when copyright strikes were real big. Like, if you got those, your channel could get shut down. I remember I did have a second channel. I still have a second channel where I do reviews, but I haven't even done anything on there in a while because I don't watch as much TV. But I had a channel like that, and it got too many copyright strikes from like big corporations that were trying to take me down because it was like a gossip news type of channel. And yeah, it got taken down. And at that time, it wasn't really anyone available that could help me. So it was just like all that hard work, all that money was kind of like down the drain. But luckily, it's not like this channel, because this channel I've put in, double-digit thousands of dollars into everything that I've done. That one was more so talking, so it wasn't as much money invested as time. So yeah, just be careful with not even be careful, but it's gonna be annoying in the future when you can't monetize your videos and get money from videos that you work so hard, and you're gonna have to go back in, change the song, and things like that. So just kind of keep that in mind. Don't do too many free things for these companies, because it definitely creates bad habits. That's definitely something that I've struggled with over the past few years. I feel like I've gotten a lot more empowered with just making sure that I kind of stand firm, because of some of my friends that they've let me know. Either they've worked with those companies and, the company tried to shit on me, or it could they just kind of like giving me their own personal advice or their stories, which that's why I love being able to speak with other women as well. And this comes like, this is still kind of like, I think it's one of those things where it's kind of like it depends on what works for you. Because I can relate to both sides where you get free things and you're able to flip it and you're able to, you know, especially when the company, they're just like, oh, you know, they kind of like, if you really want to work with that company and the company is kind of like, oh, you know, we don't have the budget, which is the classic bullshit story. And you try to negotiate with them and they just are not budging, but you feel like you may be able to, because they have such a large platform, if they can guarantee that they're going to at least promote your video, promote your pictures or whatever, then I feel like that can kind of be okay. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, depends on everybody's position. Some people are good in life where they don't even care about the money. You know, they're just doing this because this is fun for them. As opposed to some people is like, you know what, I know my worth, I'm a business, and I'm not letting nobody get anything for free, and I'd rather pass this up. So it just kind of depends on where you are at as far as your experience with YouTube. I think like if you're just starting out, then yeah, you may take some L's. You may have to kind of be buying your own stuff. But if a company is willing to give you, for me personally, if a company was willing to give me stuff for free, especially when I was so used to paying for it myself, I did kind of let them get a pass. Some of them I probably should have never, you know, or some of them it made sense because when I look at my analytics, those same company names are the ones that pop up because they were so popular. So, you know, it's kind of, like I said, that's kind of one of those things where you have to kind of look at yourself, look at your channel and see how you want to play that move. But don't sell yourself short and don't accept too many free things, because that's a part of the problem as well, especially in the wig community, especially in the hair reviewers. You know, a lot of us accept like, oh, you know, here's this wig, here's this weave, here's 3 bundles and a closure or a frontal, and we're so excited like, yes, I don't have to spend $200. But at the end of the day, if you think about it, they just gave you a free wig, but now they're making, depending on how your subscribers are loving your video, they're making tens of thousands of dollars. And I've seen that. I've cut ties with some companies because once I did the free stuff and I proposed, you know, okay, let's switch it over to me getting paid, you're like, either they don't have the budget or whatever. And I was lucky enough to use the Google links. So I was able, when that was a thing, now it's like Bitly only. Right? It's Bitly. Yeah. I was able to see like, okay, they've made, you know, double-digit thousands of dollars from me, yet all I was able to get was a $40 wig. And I've had to edit this video for 4 hours maybe. It took me an hour to do my makeup. It took me maybe 1 to 2 hours to record the video. And, you know, had to set up lighting, had to set up my MacBook, had to set up my Canon 70D, which cost me, you know, a pretty penny. My lights cost me a pretty penny. So you have to kind of take all these things into consideration. And on top of that, it's taking about 8 hours away from the time that I could be spending having time with my family that's in the living room waiting for me to finish videos. You know what I'm saying? So you got to kind of take all those things into consideration, because we wouldn't get up and go to a job for free. So why should we work for free? Because now, like I said, this is more so not a hobby, but it's a business. Honey child, this could be a whole video in itself. So yeah, that's another one. Is number 6, which goes on to like the equipment. You don't need the best equipment, okay? I remember when I first started out, I was using webcams. Webcam girl. I was definitely a webcam girl. And then from there, I hope y'all could hear me because I just noticed it was covered up. From there, I moved from webcams to, what else did I use? I used to use my cell phone sometimes. And I used to use, then I upgraded to using like the cameras on my computers. And then from there, that's where I started getting into cameras. I don't remember the camera I first got. The sun is coming up now. I don't remember the camera I first got, but I remember after that I had a, I don't remember. Then I upgraded to the Canon T2i. Then I had the Canon T3i, and now I have the Canon 70D. In order to get to the place that I am now with the Canon 70D, which did cost me a lot of money, I did sell all those previous ones in order to get to this point. So you don't have to start out. And I've seen, like, now in 2020, we have amazing quality phones. I've even started reverting back to using my phone because I've paid so much money for this damn phone, which is the Note 10. I'm like, I might as well get good use out of it. iPhones, exceptional video quality. So you don't have to say, like, I've seen a lot of people say, oh, I gotta wait till I get a camera. No, you don't. You just, all you need is, maybe if you want to invest money and you already have a phone, invest in lights, or make sure that you do your videos early in the day so that you can get that gorgeous, sunlight. There are things, but I would also recommend to have like backup lights, just because sometimes the sun can be a little finicky. Like right now it's out, then like sometimes the clouds could cover it. Sometimes the rain might just dampen your parade. Right now I have some LED lights. Like, these are small. They're about like the size of a box, and they're really small, really compact. And I have the stands that they're on. They're Steve Kaiser lights. I think I did a review on them a long time ago, but they don't take up a lot of space. I got my little New York apartment, so you already know, like, it's not a lot of space. That's why I didn't get those big box, whatever the lights they're called, and I have my ring light as well. So that's something that you want to keep in mind as well. Number 7 is, this is one that I've always been true to. I've always felt like this is something that everyone should stay true to, because I've seen so much fuckery and excuse my French, but I've seen so much here on YouTube where people just completely become somebody else. Like, yeah, it's good to enhance your personality. I've seen people start off dry AF, and then all of a sudden they turn into these big bubbly flowers, and I'm like, who are you? You know what I'm saying? Like, but they know that in order for their subscribers to be entertained, they have to do more, and I mean, if it works for you, then hey. But I would just say, at the end of the day, don't change the core of who you are as a human being, just to fit the mold, or just because that's what you feel will get you ahead, because then you won't always have to be this fake person everywhere you go. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes I think about those people. Like, I think there was a girl named Miranda Sings. There's another woman named Glozell. Like, they were doing comedy. I haven't watched them in years, but I remember I used to watch them, and I see how dumb they have to be, because they do like comedy skits, but it'd be like not like comedy, but it's like dumb stuff, like weird stuff and dumb stuff. They always have to wear like certain looks and act a certain way, and I'm like, imagine trying to be normal after that's what people know you for. It's definitely a conflict, and people will call you out, call you fake, call you this and that. Well, imagine having this fake bubbly personality, and then people see you in person, then they're gonna start calling you fake, because they're gonna be, even though you're an introvert at heart. So that's the thing that I'm saying, is just like to stay true to who you are as a person, and don't compromise your morals, your values on who you are just for this YouTube game. Number 8 is to make sure that you share your content, okay? That's something that is super important, is to make sure that you share it, because I know, like, before, I mean, I've always been one to kind of share my content, but I don't think I've shared it as much as I can. I feel like perhaps if I would have shared, like, because I was always the type, I used to work in corporate America, so I was like real, like, reserved. Like, I would not share with none of those people, none of my coworkers. I didn't share with my Facebook page that I have family and solely like people that I knew from like work and high school and things like that. Like, my private Facebook page, I wouldn't share with any of those people, because I was just like, nah, like, for what? You know what I mean? And honestly, I feel like part of it was because I didn't want them to judge me. I didn't really want to hear what they had to say, because it's kind of different when people actually know you to get their feedback or to see some shady ass comments, as opposed to if it's people that's random. Like, honestly, random people, like, you can say whatever and all I'll do is I'll block you. But if I know you in real life, like, I'm gonna just think about you like, are you really that fucked up in real life? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the kind of person that you really are. You know, it just kind of makes me look at you differently. So I think that's part of the reason why I did it. I have started recently, years later. So I think that that's kind of helped me to grow, and it's also helped me to kind of help other people that actually know me, you know? And another thing too is that I think I kind of feared that people would start asking me for things, or, you know, because once people know you, they feel like you're obligated to do things for them because you have a large platform. Like, they'll ask you either for free things, or they'll ask you to shout their company out or their business or this or that. And it's like, I don't even know anything about it. You know what I'm saying? Or that's not something I believe in. And then that right there can cause a kind of a feud between you two, or just kind of, for me, if I have a problem with somebody, like, you done to me. Like, unless you like real close and I feel like I need to work it out, like my little family members, like my boo thing, or my son or something like that, or my sister or my mom, like, if you haven't done anything for me in my life, I'm just like, to be honest with you, like, it's cold, but it's cold hard facts as well. That's the evil Pisces side of me. That's the other fish. So let's see. Number 9 is to go ahead and do the whole call of action thing. Call of action is when you ask for follows, you ask for likes. You know, like this video, share this video, and comment down below. Those are call to actions, which, yeah, I want y'all to do that, okay? I'm not just saying it just to look pretty and just to talk. I really want y'all to do that. Comment down below. Let me know what y'all feel about this video. If y'all like this video, if it was helpful to you, and things like that. So all of this that you're hearing me say that I'm really, truly passionate about is call to actions. You know, subscribe and all that stuff. Turn on your post notifications, because I've learned that that actually does help at the end of the day. Like, I've never, because I always felt, I'm a very prideful person. And I always felt like that was begging. I know it sounds crazy, but I always felt like it was begging. Like, I'm like, people should notice automatically. But after going to several conferences and hearing different creators speak, and watching people who are kind of moving up, as well as going to like the YouTube summits and things like that. Well, not summit, but YouTube events and things like that. That's something that's always consistently come up. And or as well as trainings, it's always make sure you do your call to action. They are extremely important. So it's not about begging. It's about really just kind of putting that word out there and kind of reminding people, this is a channel. I would love for you to support me so that you can see me again, and so that we can continue to grow and I can give you more content. Because if you're not coming back, if you're not watching my videos, I mean, me personally, I love doing this, so I'll keep on doing it just because this is my outlet. This is something I enjoy. But for a lot of people, that's not going to make, it's like, what is my motivation? I don't see the numbers growing. I don't see people actually engaging. I don't see any of that. So it's really good to make sure that you do that on each and every video. And the final thing that I'm going to leave you guys with is to collaborate with others. Collaborations are extremely important. I mean, that's something I've been doing for years. But collaborate with the right type of people, depending on what your niche is, depending on what you mainly do on your channel. Like I said, I have a lot of different things that I do, but my main thing that I always come back to is always the wigs. I even feel like now at this point, I can even collaborate with like nail videos, because I've gotten to a point where that's something that's really big on my channel. I can also collaborate on try-on hauls, because that's another big hit for my channel. I can collaborate on eye videos, contacts, because that's another big hit. I have a lot of big hits on my channel, like things that people I see tend to come back for. Oddly enough, wigs are not the number one thing. Like, those other things that I mentioned are actually more so number ones than wigs. Maybe because there are so many different types of wigs, or because those are the things that got the most views quickly. You know what I'm saying? So, and so that's definitely something that you need to do, is to collaborate with the right type of people. Like, don't just collaborate with a gaming channel unless you can legitimately do something that is going to benefit both of your subscribers. So yeah, that's something that you definitely need to think about. And as a bonus, I would say, I'm sorry, y'all, I saw like a spider and I'm trying not to freak out. As a bonus, I'll just say I really hope that all these insights, and I'm thinking about doing like trainings and stuff like that, but we'll see. I have a lot of things that I'm brewing up because I'm definitely, like I said, taking all of this a lot more seriously. I feel like if you kind of go with a lot of these things that I mentioned, then I feel like you would definitely get up there, and a lot quicker as well. So I hope my tips can help you. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Be sure to stay fabulous, live free, and soar limitless. I'll see you in the next one. Later.